This is loading slow today. Wi-Fi is loading slow today for some reason, the dang signal. But wanted to catch. Oh, I got his logo really well anyway already, so that's good. Alright, what's up yins guys, time for another video. And I wasn't going to do this one today, but I got some time today to do one more video while there's still daylight out here, because this is my office, an area where I do my show right now, as of now. You never know, I got plenty of sitting space here. I might do a show and interview guests. I don't know, I'm being silly, but anyway. Yeah, do one more video before it's time to make supper and burn in daylight, you know. And the weather's been nice enough despite colder weather that I can be out here, but without further ado, time for another video, and I'm gonna do a video review on this guy, this YouTuber, to his fans and why I believe in his channel. And reason being that, along with maybe some of Yin's other guys out there, I found him because I've also looked at a lot of them channels like So and So Reacts. You know, they react to music, a whole list of people out there. But this guy reviews more like videos and documentaries and other YouTube channels, and I look at some of his stuff, and I think he does reviews and a lot of documentaries of stuff I watch anyway, so it clicks with me. And I would also say he's a it's called, okay, his channel is called the Matthews Fam. So he does a lot of reviews on documentaries and things like that, and reacts to them. And he is a kind of guy which I'd have a whole list of a bunch of stuff that I would do requests and ask him to do videos about. Well, me and a lot of other people, and of course he's not going to be able to get to every request. So which, it actually gives me room to do video reactions, which I might get to later. With no intention of stealing his act. It's like, if you're like me and you look at a lot of these other people's channels and say if you have a million requests because you like to see them react to, if there's enough of them, you might as well just, you know, do it yourself too, you know, without the intention of stealing their act. But his thing, he did a lot of ones about documentaries about space, well, and a lot of other stuff too, and I want to cover that a little bit, like, because I'm actually a sucker for any documentary, excuse me, about space. And even if some of the stuff that somebody can just put out there, you don't even know if it's fake. It sounds so good and you almost want to check reputable sources, but yet very interesting entertainment out there. If you believe in, if there's a video about some exoplanet somebody found out there, I'm a sucker for it, and I'm already going to go ahead and watch it, you know, and there might be some way out there stuff on channels. I don't know how some of Yin's guys or how he feels. If there's some stuff out there that it's so unreal, but yet it's very fascinating. But my thing about being a sucker for space is, well, for anything about space is, because I'm 50 years old, and I remember when I was a kid, the original TV show Battlestar Galactica came out like in 1979, and I was in first grade, and I was a sucker for that, and the original Battlestar Galactica, that came out in 1979, not so much the newer one that came out in the last decade or something that they redid or something, but and plus in the 1980s, I don't want to go too much off the subject, since I was into Battlestar Galactica, and the Buck Rogers with, remember, Gil Gerard played in there, but especially Battlestar Galactica, and like and stuff like that, and then I even caught the reruns later in life and all that stuff too. But I will never forget the intro and the very first, the theme song, you know what I mean, too. And you don't even want to get me started in the symbolisms that were intentionally put in Battlestar Galactica. I believe it was put in there on purpose, and if you want to do your own research, and I even saw the members of Battlestar Galactica, some documentary on YouTube somewhere. I think it might have got removed, but I think it was back in the era where Hollywood was still very moral, and I think, to be fair, Battlestar Galactica intentionally had some very moral and good messages to put in the heads of our people. But I never forget. It's almost like I got it memorized. The very beginning intro to Battlestar Galactica. It went like this. It is those who believe that life here began out there, far across the heavens or far across the universe, with tribes of humans. Some that believed that may have been our forefathers, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, or the Mayans. Some believe there may yet be brothers of man who even now fight to survive somewhere beyond the heavens. Then the theme song. And so on. Well, anyway, yeah. My version of the theme song, you want to put some energy into it. What the hell? But anyway, yeah, I grew up with that, Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers. And I talk in parentheses about your star, Dirk Benedict, also starred in popular 80s show, The A-Team, the original A-Team series with Mr. T in that. Mr. T later was starring in a lot of, I think there was some religious movies that he starred in, that was like Left Behind. I don't want to be incorrect. I'd look it up, Tribulation Force. There was movies like that. And I think my mother was into some of the movies and she watched that. But Mr. T played in other movies, put it that way. And if I want to talk in parentheses about movies, Hannibal played, the guy that played Hannibal played in some other movies. I think there was one I believe that he played, and he actually wielded an old pump action Winchester. But George Papard from the A-Team also played in an old movie. I think they had it. Somebody put it on YouTube if it didn't get removed. Remember a movie called Damnation Alley? Yes, I'm talking about movies while I'm at it because it came to my mind because the stars from Battlestar Galactica and I was talking about space. But George Papard, remember the movie called Damnation Alley? He played with a younger Jan Michael Vincent, who also played in a movie, co-starred with Charles Bronson called The Mechanic. But I'm not going to go too far into movies, but I'm bringing up space, and you can also bring up special effects, how you can compare special effects of years ago to special effects now. I did take some multimedia courses in college, and we were encouraged to talk about stuff like that, and I'll talk about music videos, but I don't want to go in too much off the subject. But Damnation Alley, the giant scorpions, you can tell how that was maybe be done in Damnation Alley. But George Papard played with Jan Michael Vincent from the A-Team. See, I started talking about Dirk Benedict because in the A-Team because he played in Battlestar Galactica. So here where this gets taken, But in a nutshell, I'll tell you, that what this has to do with his YouTube channel, as far as age groups like me, that I'm like 50 years old already. I remember a lot of old movies, and then, hey, on this media and YouTube, I've got a lot of stuff to say. And if you want to talk about space, let's talk. But anyway, I'm talking about how his channel is cool. If you want to talk about space, there was an old science fiction movie that was trying to project a message to us called Forbidden Planet, and about how technology they were trying to project a message, a fictitious group on another planet called, I think it was called the Krell or something, how their technology got so upscaled that they literally destroyed their cells, and there was some energy creature roaming the planet or whatever. But the whole movie used to be on YouTube before it got taken down, because people did post entire movies there. So when I think of his channel, he did a lot of videos on space, right, on outer space, and it gets me talking about science fiction movies. And if I was to do a video, or he did a video on Forbidden Planet or any kind of movies like I mentioned, I'd probably get show pictures of some of the websites, maybe read it to you, I don't know. But yeah, my point is, his channel was good because the reason his channel was good because there was stuff that I would do requests on channels like him, and of course they're not going to get to it because a lot of other people you can comment on their channel and say, hey, why don't you do a topic on this YouTube channel or this video, which that's what I'm going to start doing anyway, some of my own stuff. But I would say to his audience too, there was a lot of stuff on YouTube, whether it's about space, about paranormal, about archaeology, but about strange and very depraved happenings all over the world that happen, that are people that are far left and far right politically are oblivious to. There's the ultra left, ultra woke side, and some stuff people that are too far the other side too. Worried about the protesting and all kind of other things like that happen that other races do to each other, and issues of racism, some stuff that goes too far. And there's all these people out there with their political things and all their protests all over and their different symbols. Damn, vehicles making noises there. That if you look on YouTube, very gruesome things that are going on right now all over the world. Mexico, South America, Africa. I mean, like I said, I was going to do a video on this channel about a guy named Mr. Ballin of his channel that I saw stuff. I'm just saying this as an example because I'm going to read his channel later, which states my case though to the fans of this channel I'm talking about, that were a lot of other channels that, for example, in Africa there was people worry about racial stuff here. There's stuff going on in Africa that I found on Mr. Ballin's channel, one particular one where there's black people abducting other black people to harvest body parts because there's to sell them to people who still believe in and practice voodoo medicine. Literally, they want internal organs, hands, and there was one particular story in the YouTuber channel, Mr. Ballin, which I'll get to later. I'm bringing that up as far as people, both black and white, are getting into some serious uproars over crap that you're seeing now. A little bit of everybody, I think, is oblivious to really depraved stuff that's happened all over the world. Well, when you can trace something really gruesome things, every part of the world has it. Parts of Russia, whether it's older Russia or even far rural Russia, that still goes on. And there, I can give you a lot of examples, and this is the shit that we know about. And the stuff that you're hearing and you find out about on articles and YouTube channels, that's only the stuff we know about. But anyway, I wanted to throw that out there because stuff that I would want to do articles in, that I would tell people that subscribe to this channel, whether you're black or white watching this, there's some serious shit going on everywhere. Far reaches of Africa, South America, parts of Mexico, say Russia, and way out. Yeah, a lot of places in the world right now too. And it's only the tip of the iceberg, and there's literally room for people to react to videos or show articles and everything else. But see, But yeah, anyway, we're gotten to his channel that he does a little bit of everything, and I'm trying to tell you what I'm a sucker for and stuff that I would recommend to you. not so much I'm rambling, but so much as the only reason I was rambling is because stuff that I would like to see him do video reactions of. But there's so much out there, like I'll tell you once again, that you can text requests to him or other people. There's so much out there that they're not going to get to it, that you or me or even you watching can literally just do it ourselves. And you can do it without stealing their act, you know what I mean, and your own thing, you know what I mean, but that's where I'm going with that, you know what I mean. I'm trying to figure before I end this video anything else that I didn't cover. I mean, damn near everything that he does that I've been into and watching, stuff like it. I was looking at stuff like it that he features. There ain't really nothing in. There ain't really nothing. I'm going to end this by saying there ain't really nothing in his channel that I wouldn't look at. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely all out there, and that's why it would be a lot of stuff that's up my alley and above other people's alley, and but yet it's a type of thing that's going on YouTube. But because the reason being that there's so much out there, there's room for other people to do it. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, there's a part of me I want to say that some of the people's channels appeal to you because I don't know. One, because you're looking at some of the stuff anyway, and another thing is, well, it makes you want to do the same stuff too, without necessarily stealing their act. I mean, because there's so much being out there. You know what I mean? I can't say that enough.